Welcome to the Open Notebook, where we balance productivity, peace, and all things that fill our cup while nourishing our mind and creating balance. I just did a little art haul. I put off something for a while and finally accomplished it, and I feel so good, and I was feeling so creative and inspired. I was like, let me just reward myself with a little trip to Michael's. And wow, was I inspired. I had to limit myself because there were so many cool projects that I wanted to do. It's a little bit of a cold weekend, and my whole plan was just to clean all weekend, but obviously I want to have a little fun and enjoy my time off as well. So let's break into these art supplies and see what we've got. So the very first thing I picked up was this little paint by number. I used to do paint by numbers all of the time and just listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And this, I feel like, is going to go with the aesthetic of my room really well. I have a lot of green and brown, and that's pretty much the aesthetic is plants and earth tones. So I thought that this one would go super well. It is 633 numbered sections for an 8 by 10 picture. So I don't think it'll be too crazy. Usually when I do the big ones of these, it'll take me a couple of months to get through, but it's really satisfying because, I mean, this was like $10 and that's months of entertainment and also a piece of decor that I made. So I think it's going to be really satisfying. The next one I picked up was actually another paint by number, but it comes with a little framed kit. So I thought this was really interesting. This was also $10 and it's just the Michaels brand. It's a little mushroom, again, going along with the plant theme. I think it's gonna go really well in my room. It was so hard to choose, you guys, by the way, because there are so many cute ones of these, and I wanna go back and get every single little one and do them. So this one actually, it's called a mini kit, 108 numbered sections. Doesn't really say how big it is, but we can break into it and look at it, I suppose. Oh, this is actually a decent size. So this is the size of the frame. It's almost as big as my face. So that is cute. I was thinking it would be like way smaller, but I really I'm satisfied with that size. The next thing that I picked up was actually a gouache painting book. So I have never ever tried gouache, but I thought, why not challenge myself? There's a bunch of different designs on here. And, you know, keeping with the plant theme, keeping with the aesthetic, I think these are all gonna go really well together. Mushrooms, plants, all of the flora that you can think of. And there are just so many things. Like, I was so inspired when I went in there and I wanted to buy up the whole store, but like I said, I had to limit myself. There's also watercolor painting kits in this same brand, in this same like concept, and I was really tempted to do that, but I've really struggled with watercolor in the past, so I felt a little maybe off put by that idea, but I do want to return and try it at some point. The next thing I got was actually this little scratch off pad, which isn't quite as satisfying. I've tried these before. They're not as satisfying as a paint by number, but at the same time, they are a lot less challenging. So this is kind of for my maybe less motivated days where I just want something really easy to complete. And I think this will match the aesthetic. It's got kind of a more unique aesthetic. This one was also really hard to choose because they're just so cute. They were all the designs are so cute. And then I got this one, which doesn't really match my room aesthetic, but I'm thinking it will match or create a little aesthetic for my computer and gaming area. So yeah, I think this is going to be really cute. This one is obviously a little bit smaller than this one. And this was the last one. I actually debated for a while. I was like, it's not really the aesthetic, but it's a cute aesthetic. It is a aesthetic. And I don't need to limit myself to one aesthetic. And I have FOMO, so I didn't want to miss out on getting this one. So that is my haul. I'm gonna do a little bit more cleaning and organizing, and then we'll get into making some stuff. Whenever I need a little hit of dopamine, I just start cleaning, even if it's just 15-20 minutes. It gets me energized, it gets me moving in a really focused way, and of course it calls for a little dance session afterwards. I start moving my body and just feeling into it. One more thing that I forgot to mention that was not really part of my craft haul, but I did acquire a Panasonic Lumix G100. It's an older model, but I got it for dirt cheap. A very, very good price. And since I've been wanting a camera for so long, but so hesitant to make that commitment, this was the perfect opportunity. Got it from a friend, and he had recently upgraded to a new camera, so he didn't need this anymore. And I just feel like this has come full circle, because I feel like 16-year-old Trisha, who saved up her money from her first few paychecks and got her very first camera, and I, went to school to make films, and then literally hated it so much I gave away my camera by the end of it. It was so burnt out. And so now that passion has returned. It's always been there. It's always been under the surface, but it's kind of resurfacing now in a way that I feel so much desire to create again. I guess it's always there, but right now I'm really feeling the creative juices flowing. So the next video, I'm waiting for a SD card for this little baby boy. So baby girl, actually her name's Nancy, but next video will be shot with this guy. So go watch that after you're done watching this video. Lately, I've been getting my workouts in mostly from home, unless of course I'm teaching a class at a studio or at the gym. I prefer to get my movement in the comfort of my own room. It's just so much more convenient. I don't have to worry about commuting or being anywhere, going to a class. I just use super simple workouts and find balance in my movement routine at home. Sometimes I like to just lie on the floor in silence and just absorb and integrate all the energy of the day. I'm a yoga teacher, so this is a big part of the practice, is being still. So I do practice this almost every day. And I think one of the cool things about being raised in the 90s is, at least for me, I don't know if kids still do this, but I would have big pockets of time where I was just bored. And it wasn't a bad thing necessarily. It allows this pocket of creativity to arise, and it kind of forces you to come up with your own way of entertaining yourself. I remember just looking out the window when I was a child and counting the cars that went by and seeing which ones had 2 doors and which ones had 4 doors, or seeing how many I could count that were a certain color, and being fully entertained with that. And I am so comfortable with peace. I've made peace with peace and my own spaciousness. It's really the hardest part of teaching yoga is those moments at the beginning and the ending of class. And sometimes I will really judge myself for not leaving a long enough Shavasana, or sometimes I think it's too long at the end of class. It seems like the general consensus is the longer the better, but I don't actually know if that's what my particular students want or need, because what I get out of Shavasana is this acceptance of the spaciousness within you. I think it's important, at least for me, to allow pockets of time throughout the day to just integrate.
Get shocked and die. Well, we're done now.
Okay, I know. Well, I filmed us doing it, but here's the final product. Hey, baby boy. I took a shower. The sun is setting. It's been a beautiful day, you guys. Beautiful, productive, gentle. And I'm eating some dinner right now. I am eating a white chicken chili with some sourdough. Super yummy, nourishing, comforting. And I am going to put on an audiobook and make some art. Lately, I've been listening to the book called Africa is Not a Country, and I am learning a ton because I, to be honest, have a blank slate when it comes to the entire continent of Africa and really geography and much of world history. It's something that really fascinates me, but I think it's the thing that I know probably the least about. And so I want to remedy that and learn a little bit more. Really focus on that and growing my knowledge. Right now I'm learning about the Berlin Conference of 1884, in which all the colonial powers who wanted a slice of the continent of Africa basically just decided, hey, we want this land, even though there's people living there, and we're just kind of going to take over and divide it up. And the only country, surprisingly, that questioned that was the United States. They were essentially just brushed off, of course, but the fact that this was in 1884, this was less than 200 years ago. And I am still very much early in the book. I have so much to learn. So I'm actually going to go continue listening to that right now. But thank you guys for joining me and watching me. If you made it till the end of this video, go watch my YouTube channel, Flow with Trish. Get some movement in, get some breathing practice in, and some little pockets of peace.